Hello everybody. Just gotta make sure, yep, okay. Welcome back to another episode of My Heroes Was Just This. Okay. Last time we started the pro hero exams, trained, and now we're in it. So, this episode, we're gonna continue onwards. I just finished removing a lot of sticky substances from the poster from last episode, and that was such annoying. It took me 10-12 minutes, 15 at max, and yeah, that's what happened. Trust me, it's a lot more stickier than, let's just say, a Friday night, when you're just beating it off when you're alone, or when you eat something sticky, or when you're in a sticky situation like being mugged by a con artist in Manchester while being fucking confused. That happened to me. I'll explain that story while we're playing the game. But anyways, let's just get into the cutscenes. Without any further ado, let's just begin.
Let's begin!
By the way, yeah, I'll explain it as soon as this cutscene is gonna be over. Yee!
We got split up because of someone's quirk, and then we were surrounded by other examinees. Suddenly, Uraraka called out to save me. But then, out of nowhere, the ground under her collapsed. And we were in big trouble again.
The ground's so shaky, I'm gonna fall!
Back at camp, I chose to fight and save someone, but at the cost of my arms. If I had only been faster, I would have been able to get Koda to Mr. Aizawa sooner. And then I could have gone after the villains myself. And if Kacchan was never taken, then All Might would never have had to fight against All for One at the warehouse. To help others, you have to be able to take care of yourself. Until my body is able to catch up to my quirk, I won't use One for All at 100%. Instead, I'll rely on support items to compensate for my weaknesses.
Thanks. Sorry, I really messed up back there, huh?
No, that's not true. You were outnumbered. But be honest. You're someone from Shiketsu, aren't you? Uraraka can now ignore her quirk side effects for a short period of time and use it to make herself float without getting sick. But you haven't tried to use that power at all, even though you were in danger. And even more suspicious, you exposed yourself to the enemy without a plan. That's not like the Uraraka I know.
If you saved me even though you knew I was a fake, does that mean you were trying to use me somehow? Cute. Please tell me more about yourself. Everything.
She scratched me? What's the matter with this girl?
Deku, are you okay?
Alright, yeah. There you go. So I'm gonna start off with this, just gonna punch. Actually, I'm just gonna try to explain the story pretty quickly, because I don't think we have much time for fighting and all that. But basically what happened was, during summer 2019, I visited BBK, basically. And what happened was, I was staying in Manchester for a couple of days, so basically the plan for the entire break was, for a bit, stay in Leeds for a bit, and then go to Manchester for the rest of the time. So that's what we did. I think this was before the convention that was happening there, and what happened was, this dark-skinned fella, just comes up to me being like, "Hey bro, you got any money? My sister's in the hospital, and I think her sister was in the hospital with cancer, and he didn't have enough money for treatment, or enough for a cab to get there." And I was just confused, scared for my life because this guy talked about how he sucker punched a dude who told him to fuck off. So I was just scared. Okay, I mean I'm 5'9", 5'10", and it's just kind of scary for me to realize this. And I'll explain more when we're done. Hold on.
Those reflexes! Ochako Uraraka. He really trusts you a lot, you know. I wanted to talk to him more, but not with so many people around. Bummer.
We can't chase her! It might have just been her quirk, but it looked like she wasn't wearing her targets. We don't have much time left, and it would be hard to get a point off of her.
Sure.
Alright, I'm gonna try to explain more of the story. Okay, so basically this dude was like, hey, can I give him some money? And I'm just scared because this is a guy that he's tall, and he basically just told me about a story where he punched someone for basically telling him to fuck off. So I knew immediately, yeah, I'm not gonna do that at all. And what happened was I had to go meet up with my mother. We were kind of separated at this point. I think I was gonna go back to the hotel room while she was going through a store or something, and yeah, that was the encounter. And I was talking with her later on, and she was like, yeah, are you sure that's not a con artist? I'm like, shit, that was a con artist. Oh no, oh god, no, this was like, sure, I'm used to people like begging on the street for money and all that, but never to the degree where he can act. And this guy was like really convincing. Like, sure, my story isn't really showing the convincing side, but still, he was convincing. By the way, I gotta say that much. But yeah,
let's begin.
Yeah, let's just get into this, and then I think I'll just talk a little. Maybe I'll talk a little bit more about the England trip. That might be what I'm gonna do.
I wasn't exactly sure I made the right move running off with Bakugo and Kirishima. Before long, we ran into Shiketsu. This rude guy had a gross quirk, and somehow, he turned Kirishima into a literal meatball.
This is a demonstration, proof of the difference in level between our classes. We value obligation and dignity, things that appear to be sorely lacking among you.
You shut your face! Obligation? Dignity? You just like to hear yourself talk. Show us with your actions, not your cheap words, if you can.
He's hard to follow. Makes me feel kinda dumb.
He said his beady eyes are full of tears, so he can't see how strong his opponents are.
My eyes are dry and handsome, thank you!
Alright, yeah. So,
UA High. I have respect for your school.
alright, yeah, my microphone. Okay. So yeah, besides the guy, I think, yeah, actually, the rest of my England trip was actually pretty relatively uneventful. It was actually pretty enjoyable being in England. And as soon as COVID is over, I have said this, I've actually originally wanted to travel to London when COVID was over, because apparently there was a Pokemon Center in London, but turns out it was like a limited time, only for like a month before that Pokemon Sword and Shield was released. It was open, but yeah. So yeah, it was pretty fun being there. By the way, the whole Pokemon Center was open October to November 2019, while I was there from, I think it was like around June, July, August-ish. I was only there for like around 2 weeks. And it was actually pretty fun, not gonna lie. Got a lot of experiences as well.
Let me enjoy this a bit!
Got to see... Leeds is actually one of my favorite places in England. It's like such a short town, but still, it's actually quite enjoyable. But yeah.
Huh, this has nothing to do with what school we go to. Fact is, I'm just stronger than you. Don't forget it.
Beast, I see what I must do. The only way to teach each of you a lesson is by breaking you. Then you'll know what it means to be dignified and behave like a hero!
What's with this guy? Fighting right now is pointless. Let's just get this over with.
Projectiles? What a nuisance. I'll make you something more appealing.
Don't ignore me!
I wasn't.
No way!
Alright. But yeah, England was pretty fun. I really want to travel there once again. And I think as soon as I travel back, I actually want to meet up with my friend, the Gaming Rabbit, who I've done a collab with on my Nicktoons channel. I know he lives in England, and he's kind of a person. He's one of the few people I actually want to meet IRL, who I've met on the internet. Him, and I would say Alex Sport are the two most people I want to meet IRL. And some people might say, oh, what about Neo Default? He's a person from IRL, he's an IRL friend of mine. So, yeah, So, yeah.
You don't know Kirishima or...
Anyways, let's just begin already.
Let's begin!
This test has an unusually low passing rate. At first this seemed counterintuitive. With All Might retired, wouldn't it make more sense to flood the streets with heroes? But then I realized, this test weeds out the riffraff. I agree with that way of thinking, so I decided to thin the herd myself.
You're ignoring the test because you think you're superior? Are you insane? Also, you've been doing nothing but hurling insults at us this entire time. That's super hurtful.
I assume this means you recognize the truth in my words. Take this time to reflect on your failure.
I was talking about my classmates!
Alright, time to play Best Boy coming up, but yeah.
I'll take the first move!
I think the convention I went to was Comic-Con. Manchester, England, 2019. And actually, I got a lot of stuff there, actually. A lot of merchandise, a lot of video games. I think I actually got Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness from there. So if you eventually see that XD Gale of Darkness on this channel, then most likely it's the copy that I got from England.
Don't be insulted.
And
this pitiful.
I think as soon as I get like a AVI to HDMI connector, then I'll do a Let's Play on that too. XD Gale of Darkness in Coliseum.
Amazing! New story! Bakugo might seem like a total jerk on the surface, but he's trying hard to be a pro hero. And Kirishima is such a good dude that he rushed an enemy for his friends, even though it was a stupid thing to do.
I'll teach you to be more aware of your place, you degenerates!
You only know bits and pieces of info about these guys. Don't insult them when you don't know them!
What took you so long?
That was weird. Thanks, man! The more damage he takes, the more people get released. No wonder he relied on long-distance attacks.
Alright. Actually, I recently cleaned up my room so it looks a lot more better. And that's also the reason why I did hang out that poster that I talked about last episode and earlier this video. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna shut up for a second and let this play cutscene. Yeah, let's go.
Let's begin!
As the representative for Class 1A, it was my duty to search for my peers. But when I met up with Ayama, we found ourselves surrounded by other examinees. Then for some reason, Ayama fired his laser beam toward the sky. As the head of our class, it's my responsibility to lead the others. I want to serve UA and all of its students to the best of my abilities. That's what my brother would do. It's through my actions that I'll realize my ultimate dream. But seriously, Ayama, what are you doing?
I'm standing out. If you try to protect me, you'll fail the test. I've already got 2 of my triggers hit, and they'll be swarming me soon. You'll have a much better chance without me. With your speed, you should be able to hit their targets.
Where is this even coming from?
Papa, Mama, why am I so different from everybody else?
My ultimate dream has always been to be an equal to the amazing people at our school.
Aoyama's laser! That's where everyone's headed! Please continue to swarm that area!
Ah, that's it. You're rounding up all of our opponents. Now, Black Abyss! Covert Black Ops Arms!
He bought us some time. Go, 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 you guys! Get some out of them while they're distracted!
Everyone! Aoyama! I don't know who you want to be equal with because I don't know what you're measuring yourself against. But this was your doing. Thank you!
Well, I guess this means my twinkling won't have to stop after all.
Only 7 spots left. Make that 5. The pressure's on now. In the final minutes, UA came together and pulled off some absolutely insane combos out there. And that's it. Every spot is now filled. 100 students will advance. The end is finally here. Woohoo!
We spotted your belly button laser, and that's how we were able to meet up with everybody. Thanks.
And with that, the first part of the exam ended. Somehow, everyone in Class 1A passed. But we weren't done yet. The second exam would begin soon. What would it entail?
Alright, looks like everybody did pass the second part. I mean, the first part. So we're gonna have to play through the second part now, I think.
That bald guy won't stop staring at me.
I think so.
That
Okay.
bald guy won't
I think I
stop
have to
staring
go
at
through
me.
one more.
That's
now to
strange.
end the episode off. So yeah,
Let's begin.
I play the cutscene and then yeah, this is about to be interesting. Yee, because finally we're gonna play as Best Boy Shoto, along with Kaminari, Best Boy as well. Yee.
In the break after the first test, while we tried to prepare for whatever was in store for us next, the loud guy from Shiketsu started glaring at me. Hey, you. Did I offend you somehow?
Oh no. I'm sorry, did I hurt your feelings? Boo-hoo, Endeavor's son.
Huh?
I can't help but hate you and your dad. You've changed a little bit since the first time our paths crossed. But that doesn't matter. You still have your father's eyes.
Oh god, okay, yeah. So apparently this guy really hates Shoto because Endeavor refused to give him autographs, which, I gotta say, is the saddest excuse to hate someone. Like, hating someone because of who they're related to is just such a pathetic mindset, bro. Like, I think you should judge a person based on how they act instead of how their family acted. If that was the case, then holy, I think a lot of people would have horrible names behind them. I mean, not that much different from the current generation. If you look at, let's just say, current presidents. The current president as of 2020. His family basically has a bad image because of his father, so... But I think we should just judge them individually as a person instead of judging them based on who basically just birthed them. I think that's like the best mindset to have. Like, judge a person based on who they are, not who their family is.
Yorushi, calm down. Todoroki, I'm sorry for his rudeness. Let's try to work together in the second trial.
Now we will begin the next and final exam. For this portion, you'll be rescuing injured persons in a hazard zone. We'll be scoring you on a point system. If you have more points than the benchmark at the time the exercise comes to an end, then you pass the exam. Now, how about a story? Unknown villains have performed a large-scale terrorist attack spanning all of insert city name here. Your task is to save as many people as you can and help the injured. Now, begin!
With that, the final test for the provisional licensing exam was underway. I had to do my best and pass, no matter what it took.
Okay, I came up with a better idea of how to say it. Judge a person based on who they are and how they act instead of based on their bloodline. Yeah. Guess that's the way you can put it. But yeah. So I'm gonna end the episode here. Next time we're going to continue on with the Flying Boy, and then the test aftermath with Deku. Yeah. Looks like we're pretty close to actually finishing this. So yeah. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And yeah. I'll have to see you guys. Wait.
That bald guy wants.
Hold on, am I missing something?
You don't know Kirish.
I think I am. Hold on. Is there any like sub areas I skipped over? I don't think so. Because I see 19% and then 20% up there. Anyways, until then, as I say, thank you guys so much for watching, and I have to see you guys, well, next time.